In today's video, we're going to be working on a Pentax ZX-M model. Problem here is pretty conventional for this particular model. There is a premature rewind issue with it, where the film is being stopped and rewound automatically without the customer actually initiating the rewind option here. So again, like I said before, it's a fairly common issue with it. What happens is that the rewind mechanism gets clogged up, gets dusty, dirty, and any kind of speck or debris can trigger that. Also, there's a sensor that we're gonna be cleaning to make sure that that sensor is clean and doesn't create any false positives to rewind that film. Now, I previously tested this camera and it does in fact rewind automatically. So we'll try to work on this typical issue first. Clean it, test it, see if it rectifies the problem. All right, so we're going to be basically primarily working with the bottom cover and not going to be going any deeper than that. So here we go. Just removing the bottom cover with these silver screws here. Okay, first things first, we gotta detach this little plate in a film chamber to take out this little flex board carefully, and we'll remove the side cover. Again, these videos that I do, they mean to be basically documentation of what we do. It's not what I would necessarily recommend customers do, or you know, private owners of the cameras. This is what we do, and it's strictly just showing you the process is more than just the troubleshooting techniques, if you will. Okay, troubleshooting of the cameras I will not be going over because I honestly do not have time for it. So I'm just basically not noticing any videos online regarding camera repairs, so I figured I'll just go ahead and help out the photo community as much as I can online on YouTube, so you guys have some basic understanding on what it takes to repair cameras. Nothing more, nothing less. So here we go. So we're gonna go ahead and just loosen up this front cover and remove these screws. Let's make sure we got all the screws. I think we did. So we're gonna lift it up carefully and remove this top. Here he goes. So remove this primary gear here and spring. All right, so this is our winding or rewind mechanism. Okay, it does both, winds and rewinds. So what we'll do is basically gonna clean it with alcohol. Test it out, make sure all the gears are moving freely. Okay, put it away. All right, so this is the rewind mechanism right here. This is our concern. Here's a screw, by the way, that was sitting here. It came out. So we're gonna remove that. We're gonna remove this beeper. Gear 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna clean them individually one by one. Let them dry out. Okay, so we're gonna take this gear out as well, held by a screw. Remove it here. Move this smaller gear. Clean it as well. Clean these gear too. All right, so what we're gonna do next, we have a sensor that is right below this rewind plate. We have to remove this plate and clean the sensor. So there's 2 screws that we wanna take out. And we're gonna carefully as possible disengage this plate, and you'll see a couple of wires, purple and yellow, that are being held, or actually part of that sensor. And this screw right here, we are going to try to carefully unscrew. And it's very delicate. Okay, so here's your contact that gets dirty and provides a false positive for the rewind, and here's the opposite side of the contact. So we're gonna clean both of them, starting with these gears first. We're going to clean it with isopropyl alcohol. Okay, do the same thing here. There's a lot of grease in this camera, so over time this grease finds its way into these contacts. That's what I've noticed. And that's what I've noticed here as well, to a certain degree. All right, so now that it's clean, we're going to put this back together. It's a little tricky. All right. Okay. Now we're putting this plate back into its place. Carefully, not to pinch any of those 2 wires. Make sure that the film sprocket and film spools are moving freely without any obstruction. All right, and then we're gonna put these screws back into the plate. All right, at this point, we're gonna reassemble our gears the way they were before. Let's see if we can remember what goes where. This goes here. This goes there, I believe. And we have white gear. Swinging gear here, left and right. That basically controls your winding and rewinding, okay, by swinging left to right. And the screw. All right. All right, we're going to put the master gear back in place. There's a little spring in there. And then the control plate. There's no need for any greasing or lubrication of this. We're just going to carefully position it the way it was before. So slide it under the flex board here. All right, and put the screws back. So we'll put this back together. We'll run a roll of film, make sure that it does not prematurely rewind. And if it is all good, we are going to consider this a repaired camera. And the typical issue with it, another big problem with them, is a mirror sequence motor. In this particular camera, that part is fine. So we're not going to worry about that at this point. I think I've covered it once in my previous video, how to replace that motor drive. But on this camera, there's no issues with the motor drive, at least for now. All right. So we're going to put the side cover back. Again, as far as our videos are concerned, like I said, I will try to do voiceover or narrate my videos as much as I can. Some will have the narration, some may not have, so I apologize to those who are not happy with the background music. But that's basically what it's gonna be for the time being. So like I said, on the shorter videos, I'll try to narrate it as I'm working on those cameras. All right, so we've got the back plate, bottom plate in place. I'll put these screws back. All right. couple of batteries back. You can see the camera releases, so there's no issues with the winding motor drive. So let's go ahead and put the film door back in place. Alright, get this strap back. And again, if it didn't solve the problem, unfortunately there's really not much else that could cause it. Hopefully it did solve it. Alright. And let's put this guy back in here. Alright. Grab the film. So here's our film here, just a test roll. We're gonna put this in here. It's a 36 exposure. Let's see if I have 24 exposure film here. I got 12, so let's try 12. Putting it back here. All right. As you can see, it reached a 13 count and it started auto rewinding the film. Let's make sure it gets to the end of the canister, and yes, it did. So we're good with that. Let's put the 36 exposure film and do a longer test with it. Like I said, I did notice the problem before. There was definitely an issue with it. Let's see, it didn't load right. All right, let's give it a try. All right, and it's rewinding. Okay, and we're good here. So let's clean the viewfinder real quickly. Camera is already pretty clean and pretty good cosmetic condition, so it's just going to do some light cleaning, nothing more. All right, and that is it. Thank you for watching.